Hey guys, today we are going to do something a little bit different. I bet you have all heard of Gen 1 solo ones and how immensely broken and crazy stupid the AI gets. Basically, Gen 1 gives you the tool to exploit it in many different ways, and oftentimes passing a roadblock is just trial and error, because you can just await the AI to go for something stupid. Today, we get rid of all of that. We are battling a perfect AI today, but how do we ensure a perfect AI? Easy, I'm going to do the AI shop, because I'm perfect. Let's say I try my very best to come up with the best possible strategy for me and the opponent. I'm going to show you an example right now. Up to this junior trainer every battle was a breeze. But here we see a smart choice that has been made. We switch out into Kakuna to tank the hit on a Pokemon that can't do anything anyway. Then we switch into Caterpie to lower our Blastoise's speed, to then be able to hit with the Poison Sting, to poison us. That is the kind of strategic maneuvering that you can expect. Let's set some rules for me and the AI. I am only allowed to use Blastoise in battle, no items in battle. The TM for double team is only allowed when we are completely stuck. And we're trying it at minimum battles, which is going to be a recurring theme for all of those strong mons. Can I beat the game at minimum battles? If yes, can I do it against a smart AI? The rules for the AI are extremely simple. Deal as much damage as you can. When there's no chance of killing in the entire fight, try to status the player. Slow him down. The AI knows what move I'm going for, just as it does in the game. And the AI knows what badge boosting is. They don't try to badge boost me, they don't get a big advantage out of it. And when they see me badge boost, they try to make me level up before they send out their strongest mon. It is basically a competitive event in which the opponents have set teams. But now let's get into it. We have beaten Misty with the use of Mega Punch and the 2 rare candies that are collectible beforehand. That is purely for consistency, because I am trying it as a speedrun. If something goes bad, it's either a time loss or reset of the run. We need Misty's Bubble Beam to make Pidgeotto a true hit instead of an unlucky 4-hit with Water Gun. The viral fight was extremely consistent because of it. Furthermore, Bubble Beam is more useful here and now because it allows me to hit some ranges on the Pokemon on Nugget Bridge and ongoing. We don't really need to talk about the third viral fight because it's an easier rendition of this fight. Search is also easy because we outspeed and outgrow everything with Dig. In Pokemon Yellow, where Raichu would outspeed us, we would simply delay this fight. We stopped the timer for the trash can puzzle, by the way, because I don't want unnecessary RNG to impact the time. The next rival is only interesting because I've learned Ice Beam and used 2 calciums to higher my special stat. Ice Beams are the only PPs left, so we are saving a trip to the Poké Center. The healing pad in the Poké Tower is not only directly on our way, it is also a faster way of healing. We are really trying to squeeze out every last second here. Blastoise has either really easy matchups in the middle part of the game, or unstoppable ones like Erika. For Erika we want to obtain Blizzard first. That means that we need to be able to serve, and when we're right at it, we not only beat Koga on the way, but also Blaine for that sweet special stat badge boost. Koga's gym is interesting because we are skipping such a big portion of the game. We are actually underleveled even though we have already used a total of 2 rare candies. Koga's optimal strategy is to get me poisoned as fast as possible, and if successful, then store with Max Minimize and inflict the finishing blow with Sludge. You see me reset here. I haven't saved before Koga because on my test runs I've done a different but slower strategy, which allowed me to be at a higher level here, which made this fight a complete pushover. I'm also kind of choking here, having to double reset. In hindsight, that was my biggest mistake of the run. For my successful attempt I restock on Digs and teach Surf just as an alternative that allows me to save PP. Surf is far more efficient than Dig against the Mark. To be fair, I should have gone into the second coffin instead of the Mark to have one more chance to poison, but I get poisoned either way. My strategy against Weezing is Surf into Dig. The AI knows my move and goes for Sludge to get the most damage out. Self-destruct would not have killed. I don't know the range any longer, but I've tried that before. Blastoise then uses Dig, which is going to kill. I want to note here that the AI only knows the current move. I've used and not all future moves, just like it is in the game. If the AI would have known both moves, it would have gone for self-destruct because it's the highest damage output possible. But it sees Surf being a 3-hit and the chance to kill with Sludge into self-destruct. Just a little note to explain to you how I decided would be fair. Before Blaine I finished the Rocket storyline which peaks in our rival Fivel fight. Giovanni is a joke for Blastoise, so let's focus on our rival. We not only have acquired every vitamin that we have access to in Sylph, but we have also sold some items to buy through exocalciums. Good point in the video to tell you that I'm playing on max DVs for this one. So basically the best Blastoise imaginable. I did a mistake in the first fight. Nice time loss. I beat the Pidgeot with Ice Beam but not before it can use a critical Sand Attack on me. Sand Attack here maximizes the opponent's chance of coming out victorious over attacking. The Alakazam is the biggest threat my opponent has, so naturally one would think that the opponent sends it out second to pressure me as much as possible. But because my rule says that the AI knows my experience points just as much as I do, the two of us know that I'm going to level up before the last Pokemon is sent out, if executed the right way. Blastoise gives the most XP, is what I mean with that. The only badge boost possibility is Withdraw, unusable on Alakazam, and without the possibility to badge boost earlier, just a waste of time. I want to give you guys a quick example of my move choice here. I could have just set up one Withdraw and the Pidgeot to outspeed Alakazam and Pidgeot's Sand Attack. As it is an opponent's statusing move, it only has a 75% chance of hitting, and even then it's not guaranteed to hinder me. I just need to hit the Alakazam, I can take every other Pokemon, so missing there's no problem. Because I know my XP and know that my opponent knows it too, I don't need to waste time on setting up because I expect him to go for the best possible order for him. I have missed multiple times on the Blastoise, which actually was a little bit worrisome, because I was getting closer and closer to being in a one-hit KO range without an Alakazam crit. But I got lucky and Alakazam missed here. My strategy was not flawless. For consistency, should either reset when his Pidgeot hits or fight Blaine beforehand. I finished Sylph and got to the 6th, 7th and 10th floor to collect all good items. I also collected the 2 vitamins in the mansion, besides some other items to sell later. But let's talk about Blaine. There's not much to talk about. I have done a different try at a lower level to look whether it is possible to fight him before the rival. And it is. His move choice is just terrible against Blastoise. So optimally fight him and then the rival. We level up after the fight, meaning we would waste as little XP as possible using our rare candies now. Which is what we do for Erica. As long as we hit blizzards, this fight is super easy at level 44. Sabrina comes next. For the sake of saving time I didn't heal before the fight. Kind of a dumb mistake. She isn't a pushover. On our second attempt we still don't heal because a crit would pretty much end it anyway. So I'm brute forcing this in an attempt to save the time that we should have saved from healing in the first place. Yeah, my genius is almost frightening. We get the lucky no-crit Alakazam. The rest of her mods are not a threat at all. Let's go, Giovanni. Wanna see me do it again? I think this fight wouldn't even be challenging Pokemon Yellow, who has a far superior moveset, but he cannot even use a move here. On a more serious note, we have sold all possible items, bought as many vitamins as possible, and are ready for the final rival. Do you think it is possible without Double Team? Or is the Elite Four too good when they use good moves? The final rival does not have Sand Attack on his moveset, which makes it far easier than it was before. Blizzard can be an Oko but isn't here. Unlucky roll, I guess. We use Quick Attack on Pidgeot to inflict the most damage possible. Then we should have gone for Alakazam, but to play it fair I didn't set up on Execute. Doesn't matter anyway, the crit answered. We used our last rare candy that we were able to collect in the minimum battle route, trying to badge boost ourselves to victory. We don't set up on the Pidgeot, thinking that we are going to level up either way, that is, whether will the Alakazam quit or not show. Our special force. Oh no, that's going to be bad. Especially because it outsped us. But badge boost being badge boost saves us again. Blastoise is the last remaining threat, even though it can't deal good damage. We want to use Withdraw to Badge Boost. Lorelei knows that and wants to get some early ship damage out with Takedown, as long as it actually deals more damage than Aurora Beam. Dugong could use Growl here to make Lavos and Slowbro tougher to deal with, but it would also badge boost us by 2 more stages. Go for Withdraw twice, seeing how little damage we dealt to Slowbro and Lapras anyways, it's smarter to Growl twice, crippling Earthquake entirely. The 2 badge boosts give Surf enough power to finish the Lapras off in one less move, but Aurora Beam really wanted to be a homie today and gave me 2 free badge boosts, because I was so nice I guess. This was also good for hitting yourself in confusion by the way. On Slowbro we see that even 4 badge boosts more do not change the range of it. That's why Growling twice is the best choice for the Dugong in the beginning, even though it's 3 badge boosts. Having to reset on Bruno of all opponents is especially painful. But don't worry, it's just a technicality. Let me use an elixir and look, I bet nobody was worried about him. J-Wars likes to call it the Agatha lottery, which is hilarious because it was for me. If Hypnosis hits, the fastest way in my test was to reset and try again, until she doesn't hit Hypnosis first turn. We badge boost to outspeed, a smart choice that you should always go for. It's basically a free turn of setup. The Gengar hits you only once, no matter what. We go for haste on the Golbat to get rid of the badge boost, and play her Gengar out second to last, to counteract the badge boost via level up. Again, first throw Withdraw to outspeed second turn. Arbor can only use Glare and hope I'm getting paralyzed like 100 times. Now comes the point where this one gets ugly. I don't like using double team threats when they are just there to avoid attacks. When you solely use double team once or outspeed or hit the damage range, that's perfectly fine for me, but I tried it without double team. Let's see how that went, shall we? Dragon Rage deals the most damage in case we set up withdraws. In this instant we could have gone for Hyper Beam last turn to maximize damage on our Blastoise. Little misplay that does not matter in the bigger picture. We send out Aerodactyl second because it cannot speed us and is highly dependent on us not being able to set up first. We miss Blizzard and die to the Dragonite, but important to note that we would have been faster without a setup. The only reason why I didn't want to set up on the Gyarados is that it has a set damage dealing move. In the next one Aerodactyl misses with Hyper Beam and we don't miss on the Dragonite, but that's not all the luck we needed. We still need to hit 2 Blizzards on the Dragonairs. This is not over yet. We miss, but we not only tank 1 Hyper Beam, we would be able to tank 2. Furthermore, we can use EQs to save the last remaining Blizzard PP because Dragonair is unable to move. A close call, but either we don't miss any Blizzards or the Aerodactyl misses. I would have appreciated just hitting all of them, because this fight is quite foolproof if you're getting lucky. Basically 50% chance. But let's now get to the real struggle. Blue's Pidgeot luckily does not have Sand Attack. This allows us to set up on it, or so I thought. We level up right after. We need all the rare candies before, but now there's no way to manipulate our experience points. And what's even worse is that if we would be level 55 here, we would level up before the last one anyway. In that case, Alakazam would be saved for last. Withdraw tries to get our actual defenses up instead of badge boosting. I know, sounds crazy. Looks like trial and error at this point. I'm going to show you the consistent fight with Double Team after we made this one possible. Even on attempts where we get lucky freezes, we can't beat him. We badge boost first turn on the Alakazam. If he doesn't crit, we tank the Psychics better. We actually already outspeed after 1 withdraw. A quirk that my money routing on this attempt led to. I was able to afford more Carbos, thus outspeeding earlier. He quits, something that he is not allowed to for me to win. I even thought about freezing the Alakazam to ensure the win. Too unlikely for me personally. I wonder whether buying more proteins would have made the secure potential one hit. I doubt it. I would not have enough money to do so anyway, but would be interesting to know. Even when we get through the Alakazam, there still is a chance to miss the 2 Blizzards on Executor, and we lose our badge boost after, so the Blastoise would finish us off. On the successful 4th one I get by the Alakazam, which is consistent as long as it doesn't crit me. Then freeze the Blastoise. The badge boost does not matter here, because we would outspeed anyway. This was supposed to be a test to see how his Blastoise stands up to mine. I wanted to use Double Team after showcasing that it is impossible, but because the badge boost didn't matter, and I just got lucky, I'm taking this time right here. Misclick on the Arcanine by the way, but I played it out on both sides, as if it didn't happen. Thanks for watching another of my videos. I'm trying to improve myself week by week, but it's going to take a while. See ya, and don't forget to subscribe, like and comment.